Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adif Ilhim bin Muhammad Yunus, and today I'll be presenting um, my root cause analysis or RCA on the failure of an air conditioning system. So the objective of this presentation is to identify the root cause failure using the root cause analysis approach and recommend a few suitable corrective and preventive action to avoid similar failure in the future. So before we begin, here is the outline of my presentation. So firstly, I'll be explain about the introduction and will be followed by the following content. Right. So as we all know, the air conditioning systems are widely and commonly used in all of the houses, industrial buildings, classes, and so forth to provide the comfort environment. So when an air conditioning system fails, it is not only affects the user comforts, but it is also reduce the productivity and energy consumption. So therefore, it is important to identify the real cause of the failure instead of uh, repairing the damaged component. So in the study, I applied the root cause analysis method to identify the actual cause of the air conditioning system failure and recommend a few suitable corrective and preventive action. Right. So now I'll be explaining about the problem description. So firstly, the failure event occurred when the air conditioning unit failed to cool the room, even though the power supply was available and the unit was switched on. So, and then there are several symptoms were observed, which is the room temperature remained high, compressor was not operating, no cold air was produced, indoor fan was running normally, and the system stopped cooling after several minutes of operation. So as a result, the failure reduced user comfort, increased electricity consumption, and could potentially damage other components in the system. Right, moving to the next content. So to better understand the problem, I collected data using the 4W1H method. So this method helps organize important information before performing the root cause analysis. So the first question is, what happened? And finding shows that the air conditioning system failed to produce cold air. And second question is, when did it occur? So the finding shows that the failure occurred during normal operations after several months of continuous use. And the third question is, where did it occur? So it is occur at the residential room using a split unit air conditioning system. And the fourth question is, how was it involved? So the finding shows that the user noticed the issue and maintenance technician conducted inspection. And lastly, how did it happen? So the compressor stopped operating due to a blown fuse caused by excessive current draw. Alright, so next I applied the 5 whys technique, which is one of the most commonly used root cause analysis technique. So the idea behind this technique is to repeatedly ask the question why, so until the actual root cause is identified. So the first question is, why is the air conditioner not producing cold air? The answer is because the compressor is not operating. And the second why is the compressor not operating? The answer is because no electrical power is reaching the compressor. And the third why is no electrical power reaching the compressor? Is because the fuse has blown. The fourth why did the fuse blow? It is because the excessive current flowed through the circuit. And lastly, why was excessive current flowing through the circuit? The answer is because the compressor motor was damaged and drawing abnormally high current. So after asking the five questions, we finally reached the actual root cause. Therefore, the root cause of this failure is a damaged compressor motor rather than a simple blown fuse. So replacing the fuse will not permanently solve the problem because the damaged compressor motor will continue drawing excessive current and cause another fuse failure. All right, so next we have the root cause identification. So the identified causes can be grouped into three categories. First category is the physical cause. So the compressor motor was physically damaged. Because of this damage, it drew excessive electrical current. So the excessive current caused the fuse to blow, which stopped electrical power from reaching the compressor. As a result, the air conditioner could no longer cool the room. So the second category is the human cause. So what human action contribute to the failure? So firstly, the routine inspection were not carried out regularly. In addition, early warning signs such as unusual noise and reduced cooling performance were ignored. So, and then maintenance activity were also delayed. So this human factor allowed the problem to become more serious. And the third category is the lantern cost. So what system our management weakness allowed the problem to occur? So um no there no preventive maintenance schedule was implemented, no monitoring system for compressor current, maintenance record were not properly maintained, lack of maintenance planning and fault detection procedures. So finally, this shows that the equipment failures are usually caused by the combination of technical problems, human factors, and also management weakness. All right, then we have the corrective actions for the future. And so, based on the identified root cause, several corrective actions are recommended. So, the first one is replace damaged compressor motor because it is the main source of the failure. Second is replace blown fuse with a new fuse that meets the new manufacturer's specifications. Third is inspect wiring condition to ensure there are no loose connections, damaged cables, or short circuit. And the fourth is form a complete operational test after the repairs are complete. So this confirms that all electrical and mechanical components are functioning properly. And finally, verify the cooling performance by measuring the room temperature and ensuring that the system can produce cold air normally. So these corrective actions eliminates the existing faults and restore the air conditioning system to normal operation. All right. So lastly, besides correcting the current problem, preventive actions are equally important. So several preventive actions are recommended such as monthly maintenance inspection should be carried out. The compressor current should be measured regularly to detect abnormal electrical conditions before serious damage occurs. And then the compressor performance should also be monitored continuously. And the fuse condition should be checked during routine maintenance. Complete maintenance record should be maintained because they help the technicians identify recurring faults and plan future maintenance. In addition, any abnormal noise should be invest, investigated immediately before it develops into a major failure. So, safety precaution must also be followed, such as the electrical power supply must always be disconnected before maintenance begins. Then, technicians should wear appropriate protective equipment or PPE. And then finally, all maintenance procedures should follow the manufacturer's recommendation to ensure safe working conditions. So, in conclusion, this root cause analysis successfully identified the main cause of the air conditioning system failure was a damaged compressor motor. So by using the five ways method, I was able to determine the actual root cause instead of only addressing the symptoms. So the recommended corrective and preventive actions can helps improve the system reliability, reduce future breakdowns, and also extend the service life of the air conditioning system. So thank you for your attention, and that's all for me.